that's what bothers me now with some of these offshoots that's coming along, and especially this replacement theology thing. So that, to me, I don't understand how they can even come to that conclusion based on the Scripture. If they study the Scripture, they know better than that. You go ahead. And
yeah, it is baffling. If you just go and read Romans 11,
yeah,
that in itself, you know, it undoes everything that replacement theology teaches. And of course, this is not a new thing. It happened very, you know, soon after the Gentiles started, from the time of Constantine.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start drifting away from the Jewish roots and failing to understand that's what's undergirding the whole thing, you start going in another direction, then you'll latch on to other verses that seemed, there were times when God rejected Israel, but it was temporary.
Yeah.
There are many verses that'll say, you know, I turned my back on them, but you got to keep reading.
Right.
You know,
he didn't cast them out.
No.
He turned his back, but he
No,
never has cast them out.
Right, that is correct.
They've been blinded in their eyes that they don't see the truth of Yeshua HaMashiach right yet, but that day that blind's going to be removed.
Yeah, one of my favorite Old Testament verses is Zechariah 12:10, where it's talking about, and I will pour out upon them the spirit of grace and supplication. It's after Armageddon.
Right.
I mean, it's finally, what a picture this is, that Israel is going to be backed into the corner.
Right.
All the nations of the world are coming against her. They have been crying out for their Messiah year after year, century after century. No Messiah. This is it. If the Messiah does not come now, they're doomed. So they are crying out for him. And he pours out on them the spirit of grace and supplication, which allows them to see that he is the one that they crucified. They will see his nail-scarred hands. They will see it, and they will recognize that he is the one. But even at that, they're not all going to believe.
Right.
At least I believe that from reading all of Scripture. But it's like, I see that as a scriptural version of, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. And God does that with them. He pours out the spirit of supplication on them. He makes them so that they can believe.
Yeah, so they can see the truth.
So that they can finally see the truth.
Yeah.
And it's like, boy, you read through those sections in Zechariah, 12 through 14. It's like, man, we're heading there. We are heading
We're
there.
so close that it's amazing. But now, how with this replacement theology, that's saying that Israel has been replaced by the church.
By the church. It's because the idea is that because Israel rejected her Messiah,
right,
that God is going to reject her and transfer those blessings. He has no more plan. And if you buy into that, then you have to buy into millennialism and all sorts of other things, where otherwise, the revelation makes no sense. You have to twist so many other things around to allegorize everything that is so plain in Scripture.
Right.
So it's basically they're saying, no, the church is now the new Israel. Well, I don't think so.
No.
Because they're totally separate entities. Even though we all part of God, the church has a part and Israel has a part. We never were meant to take Israel's part.
That's right. It's like the Sam and Frodo. We are two separate entities that have been given separate jobs, separate roles to play.
Right.
And our role is to help them get there.